All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 20th day of November, 2024. Thank you all for coming here today. We have a lot of things to cover today, so I'm going to jump right into it, okay? One of the questions that just popped up was, where can you find this recording after it's done? I put the recordings out on YouTube. We have a channel in YouTube you can go to, but you will automatically be sent an email. Everybody who signed up for this webinar, whether you attend it or don't attend it, you'll automatically be sent an email that tells you, it's got a link in it to the recording when the recording is done. Now, toward that end, all the recordings are here. If you go to targetviewtrades.com, all the recordings are here. If you go to upcoming and past webinars, click on that. This is today's recording, right? If you want to sign up for that today. This was last week's, and all the ones before that are listed down here. So you can go in there and see all those recordings. They're all listed here. All right, that's it. Targetviewtrades.com, not TV Trades. This is targetviewtrades.com. Upcoming and past webinars. This website, targetviewtrades.com, is more of a functional website. All right, where the TV Trades is more just to give you guys information. This website is a lot bigger. It takes a lot more to load and a lot more to maintain. The other website is a quick, small one that's got some quick pages on it that should load really fast for you. But this is where you're going to go and find this. And like the next webinar will be right here. This says 11:20. The next one is actually, we're going to skip next week because it's the day before Thanksgiving. So we're going to skip next week and we'll go right to December 4th will be the next webinar. All right, I have the page all ready to go. I have the webinar all set up. So at the end of the day today, this is going to say Wednesday, December 4th, I think. Okay, and it'll also say it right here on the home page. You can go to the home page at targetviewtrades.com. It'll say it right here too. All right, Wednesday, December 4th. You'll be able to register right there. Okay. Now, that is all of that stuff. So the recording, Abe, will be available to you at that point. Okay, you'll be able to get to it several different ways, and it'll be emailed to you. Let's see. The next thing, I got to show you how to take the trial. If you haven't taken a trial, go to TV Trades, tv-trades.com, -trades, tv-trades.com. I should buy TV Trades too and just redirect it in case people leave the hyphen out. But tvtrades.com, go there and just click on any one of these orange things. Okay, they all go to the same place. They all go down here to the same place. All right, if I click on one of them, it'll bring me down there. There it is. Brings me all the way down there. $25 a week if you want the weekly plan. $90 a month, 10% less than that if you want the monthly plan. $9.97 a year if you want that. It's the annual plan. It's more than 20% less than that. And all of them, well, actually the annual doesn't have a 3-day trial. You sign up for a whole year. You don't really need a 3-day trial. If you're going to commit to a year, you already know it works and you don't need the trial. But when you do either one of these, you sign up for the free 3-day trial. You get 3 days for free. When you do those 3 days, make sure you give me your login ID if you want to use charts. All right. Now that's if you want to use charts. You don't really need to have. You don't have to give me that anymore to use charts. And that is one of the new things in the sign-up procedure. When people sign up and they go through that stuff, there's a thing at the end of it that says, it used to say you're almost done and you got to go through this stuff and give me your login ID, and it shows you how to go and it actually takes you out to this page right here. Getting charts. If you don't have your own login ID, you have to do getting charts to get that, and then it takes you to the setup thing right here and walks you through it all. But if you don't have charts, then you don't have to do that. Just put no charts in the login ID. And that kind of brings us to what I wanted to go over in this webinar. All right. But before I jump into that, let me just. All right, I'm going to read through these questions. Well, one of the things that was asked was the range bars, because I use range bars all the time. And, the benefit of having range bars is the bar is going to close ahead of time. So you can be more precise with your entries. You can be more precise with your stop. You can be more precise with your target, because you know ahead of time how big the bar is going to be. You can see what the price action looks like, because everything is based upon price action. You have to have price action to go from one bar to the next. All those other kinds of bars, the minute bars, the hour bars, the day bars, the week bars, the tick bars, the transaction bars, the volume bars, contract bars, they all count down to 0. So there's no price action needed to get to the next bar. It just goes to 0 when it goes to the next bar. All right. with range bars, you have to have price action to get to the next bar. That's why I use them. Because everything that we do is based upon price action. Stuff that's already happened. Price action patterns repeating themselves again and again and again. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, as far as picking a range bar, well, that depends upon you. You know, how do you like to trade? You know, if I go here, let me sign out of this. I should have signed out of this a little while ago. Let me sign out of this. And let me save first before I do. Well, look at this right here. These are some things that I trade with in the morning. These are all different range bars. This is the NQ with a 31 range. This is the ES with a 7 range. The Russell with a 19 range. And gold with a 9 range. Those are the markets that I trade in the morning because they give good volatility. I can trade these things quickly without a lot of risk. That's how I determine it. All right. I guess I don't need to jump into my other account yet. I will jump into it in a minute, but that's how I determine what range bar to use. One is how much risk do I want to have on a trade, because with a range bar, you know, the bigger the bar, the less amount of risk you have to have with respect to the bar size, but the more risk you have to have. All right. So with 100 range, you have to have like 110 ticks risk. You know, it's 10% more than the bar, but it's only 10% more than the bar. But it is 110 ticks. Like with the 31 range, this one right here, I have a 36 tick stop. So that's 20% more than the bar. But it's only 36 ticks compared to the 110 ticks. You see, with respect to the bar, it's bigger. But, you know, the bigger the bar with respect to the bar is smaller. The smaller the bar with respect to the bar, the larger the risk is going to be. But the overall dollar value of the risk is going to be smaller. But the idea is you're going to have, you know, you're going to be exposed to that risk more often because you're in a smaller time frame. You see what I mean? Now, I'm kind of in this mode right now where I feel like I have to talk really fast. I don't really have to talk really fast, but you know these meetings, I run them right to the end. And I don't want to run over too long. So, I want to make sure that you understand that stuff. The first question that I had that I wanted to cover was for somebody who's actually on the trial right now. And he had asked, you know, how do I determine what range bars to use? That is how I determine what range bar to use. How much risk do I want to have on a trade? And how many trades do I expect to be able to take in the time frame that I'm going to be able to trade? You know, this stuff that I do here, I have 2 hours in the morning to teach people how to use it. All right? And you guys, you know, you guys are on your own, so you can do whatever you want with it. You have all the alerts and everything that comes with the TV trades. This doesn't have all that stuff, right? But you have all the alerts that comes with TV trades. So let's go to that for a second. Let's go there. All right, let me sign out of this, and we'll sign into TV trades. Okay, sign in. Ew, I don't want that. Let's go here. Sign the TV trades like this, and it's going to give me a number, and that number is 781966. There it is. Alright, and now we'll open up this layout right here. We'll leave this, and we'll go to this layout. Alright, and in this layout, you will see this is what generates the stuff that goes into the new trade table pages and the new Telegram channels. All right, I'm going to get into that with you in just a minute. I know some of you guys came here to see that, but this is where all that is generated. All of these alerts that I've created over here, all those alerts are what create that information for you. All right, and this was a lot of work for me to put together in the amount of time that I had to do it. Now those are the active alerts. These are the actual alerts. There's not that many. There's this many right here. Those are the actual alerts that I had to create to make it all happen. Now there's a list of about probably 10 different stocks, 3 different ETFs, and 5 different futures, I think. 5, maybe 6 different futures that I have going into the information. And it's being generated from this. I'm the only one who has access to this, right? Because it generates specific things with webhooks and stuff like that. But this is the TV trades. Now, for those of you guys who are brand new to TV trades, you know, the basic TV trades thing, if you're just starting up, this is what a chart looks like when you just open up TradingView. It gives you a chart that's just got volume on the bottom with price right here. That's all it does. and you just get to pick whatever it is. This is Netflix, so you just get to throw on whatever you want. Come in here, go to your, you would go to invite only. Go to invite only and grab your TV trades. I'm just going to go to favorites and grab TV trades. You just have to click it once, and when you click it, by default, this is what it looks like. All right, now this thing down here at the bottom, the volume, we don't use that. Let me explain to you when the volume can be useful. And a volume thing like this, a graph like this, an oscillator, that's usually down in the oscillator section. Something like this can be useful when you want to see when is the best time to trade. Now, doing that on range bars is not that good. You should do it on like a 5-minute. All right. And on a 5-minute bar, you can see when you have the most volume. That's when you want to be trading, whenever you have the most volume. Okay, you want to see when the volume picks up. Like on this particular day, the volume picked up. This was today. See, the volume picked up here. It started to pick up yesterday afternoon, at the close yesterday afternoon, and then it just kept on. This is for Netflix. All right, this is for Netflix. The volume started to pick up then, and then it picked up this morning. Now, I don't know if it's like that every day, but I do want to tell you guys something. You know, when we get to the trade signals page, if you get trade signals at the end of the day on any of these things, the ETFs, well, not so much, well, the ETFs too, but any of these stocks particularly, if you get a trade signal at the end of the day, you know, you should really think about buying an option in whatever direction that thing is going in. Buying an option, because usually that trade signal at the end of the day is going to be a significant move when the markets open back up the next day. Okay, I mean, like, you know, you can make 100% pretty quickly on those things. Of course, you know, only risk what you can afford to lose and all that stuff. Make sure you read the risk disclosures and all those sorts of things. But that is a thing. And now that we have the trade signals that are just generated and they can be sent to your phone, they can be sent, well, they're sent to Telegram, and you can set Telegram to notify you. You know, Telegram on your phone. Can you filter alerts if you trade just one futures commodity like the ES? You can't. I didn't do that, but what I did do is I did filter the alerts. I separated the alerts from the stocks and the ETFs. Okay, I'm going to get into that. Well, here, I'll just show you. See, I broke it down like this. You have stock and ETF buying calls. You have stock and ETF selling puts. You have futures longs and futures shorts. All right, that's what I've done. Now, you can create the same thing. You really can create the same thing and have it sent to your phone. All right, this is just something that I created for people who don't want to use charts. But Abe, you can, if you have the indicators, I mean, I did this. This is just with the basic TV trades. All right, it's nothing special. It's just with the basic TV trades. So if you have this right here, this basic TV trades, and you have this on with the time frame that I was looking at right there, like this is Netflix, right? Netflix right here is on 100 range. So if you go here to Netflix on 100 range, or you were talking about futures, if you just want the ES, now the ES signals that were generated in here, let's go to the futures short signals. I have the YM on a 19 range, I have the NQ on a 100 range, and gold on a 10 range. If you want to just focus in on one of those, like you said, the ES, I have that on a 15 range. Okay, so if you come in here and just put the ES, make this ES, and Z contract and put it on the 15 range, then you're going to get the same signals. All right, you'd get the same signals, and you can focus it down like that. You can narrow it down. The whole reason I'm doing this is for people who don't want to have charts, who don't need to have charts, or don't have charts. You know, they don't want to get involved in charting packages and all that kind of stuff. It opens it up for everybody. So it's not just, you know, you're not limited, I'm not limited to an audience that only has TradingView. And, you know, if people have other charting packages, that they have all their stuff that they're used to doing and all that stuff on other charting packages, they don't have to switch to TradingView to be able to use this, because they can get the signals from here and then go and apply these signals to whatever they're doing on their other charting packages. That was the idea behind it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to answer your question, though. You can absolutely filter the alerts if you want. You set up your own alert. You know, like if the TV trades thing right here, if you go to alert, let me click on this, and you go here to alert, inside the TV trades, right here, you have all these different individual alerts that are created for it. All right, the trigger short potential, the trigger long potential. the mid-trend trade advance notice, the buy alert, the sell alert, the mid-trend trade buy alert, the sell alert, the mid-trend trade sell alert, the sell advance notice, and the buy advance notice. What the sell advance notice and buy advance notice are is right here when you get like a blue bar on a red background like that. It's, you know, it's about to change to go for a long trade. It'll tell you that there's a long trade coming soon. If you turn that on, it'll say long trade coming soon. It would have said it right here too, but it didn't end up with one. But right here it would say it, and then you can get ready for it. Okay, so Abe, yes, you can filter alerts if you just trade one futures market like the ES. Yes, you absolutely can do that. You can. I've made it so you can customize all the alerts. You can do whatever you want with the alerts. If you have your own charts, then that's absolutely for you. You can do whatever you want. Okay. All right. So that's the TV trades thing. Now I just ran over a little bit on the TV trades about the other stuff. You know, when you put it on, there's all these different things in here. All right, it's all on the web page, but I'll just run through it. By default, it only has longs, all right, because usually people who are, this was originally created just for equities, and usually people who are buying stocks, they're only interested in buying. But you can turn on the shorts just by clicking that button right there, and then you'll see some shorting opportunities pop up in here, right? Some shorting opportunities pop up in there too. That's all you have to do to turn on the shorts. Just click that on. Now, there will be times where the markets get choppy, and you'll have a short right after a long. They'll go back and forth. To get rid of that, you enable the bias level. And what that means is anything over a 233 moving average will only show longs, and anything under a 233 moving average will only show shorts if you put the bias level on. Okay. Now, the table gives you the entry, the stop, and the dollar value of the stop, and it gives you some targets as well. All right. The table can give you from 1 to 3 targets, and it can give you the risk reward as well. If you click the risk reward, then it's going to put the risk reward in here, and you really want that number to be 1 or greater. What that is showing you is that your risk based on the entry and the stop versus the entry and the first target. That's the risk versus reward based on those two things, the entry and the stop and the entry and the first target. All right, now sometimes that first target is going to be really close, and that's going to make that a really small number, but you want that to be 1 or greater usually. Okay. Let me go through this stuff. Is there anybody in here for the first time? I mean, look, there's a bunch of people in here, but I don't know if anybody's in here for the very first time. Looking through. All right, I see a bunch of people who, if you have any questions, you know, you put it into the question box. If you have any questions, put it into the question box, okay? And the only people who can see what you ask are me. The only person who can see what you ask is me, okay? So, yeah. All right, so here's another question. I'm going to get to the Telegram stuff in a few minutes, but Wayne, Telegram name can only come through as long as, yeah, that's different now. It's going to be different. All right. Right now, the way the Telegram, well, I'll get to that in a few minutes. Okay, well, let me just finish this stuff. I want to finish this line of thought that I'm on, and I'll get to that one in just a few minutes. Okay. All right. So I want to go through this stuff to show you how this works. If you miss this first trade, you might say, okay, well, I'm not going to get another trade until it changes color. It might give me a long trade. The reason it didn't give a long trade right here is this bar was a down close, not an up close. If that bar was an up close, you'd have gotten a long trade right there. But that is just one of the sequence things. But if you wanted to get trades in the middle of the trend, you have to check that thing. That's a mid-trend trade. All right, and that gives you these purple arrows that give you trades in the middle of the trend. If you get a black arrow like that and you have the alert set properly, it will let you know ahead of time that that bar is likely to get, that the next bar is likely to give you a mid-trend trade. All right, that's what the black arrow is there for. Not all of them get a black arrow, but the ones that do, that is an alert that tells you, get ready, the next bar could be the mid-trend trade for you. All right, so there are alerts to tell you ahead of time that you have a trade coming up, whether it's the mid-trend or whether it's the beginning of the trend. And you know, all that stuff is pretty easy to do and pretty easy to set. If you go here to targetviewtrades.com and you go here to TV trade settings, in here it goes through how to set those alerts up. All right, the mid-trend trade arrows, the risk reward. There's videos on how to do all this stuff in here. Okay. I don't know that I've caught up with everything in here. I probably need to go through these videos here and get everything caught up because I'm sure there's stuff that I haven't done. No, I've been doing a lot of things, but anyway, I wanted to cover that basic little bit because that's important to anybody that's here who's on the trial for the first time. This is the basic TV trades, all right, and that's going to get you all this information. That's great, and that's enough. And you know, my theory is you should have a goal every day of how much money you're going to try to make, and you get in there and you make that money and you stop trading. That's my theory. All right, but if you want to keep trading all day long, there are going to be trades generated all day long, and this is just on the ES 15 range. Now, I don't even trade on the 15 range normally with ES. I trade on the 7 range, but the 15 range, you can see, gave some really good opportunities all day long today. I actually killed it today on the ES on the 7 range. But if I take that off, and we take that off, and we take these off, all right, so we'll take all those things off. Now, I took off all the things. All we have is the color. I guess I can just get rid of the whole thing. The next thing we'll show you is the TV Trades range trigger. Okay, I'm sorry, not the range trigger. Well, I'll show you that too. But let's get rid of this volume thing down at the bottom. We don't need that anymore. All right. I'm gonna get rid of the range trigger for right now because I want to do this in order. All right. We'll do the range sniper. Now the sniper is just, it's an animal all by itself. If you want to trade a lot, the sniper is going to give you a lot of trades. All right. It doesn't wait for just the beginning of the trend. It trades in the middle of the trend and does pullbacks in the middle of the trend. And you can do this on a smaller time frame. Like this is a 15 range ES, which really isn't a small time for the ES, but you can go up to, you can go to whatever time frame you want, and it will do its best to generate good trades for you whenever you do it. All right. And you know, this is a 50 range bar, so you can see it's got a ton of trades in here. Now, as I said before, the stop, the bigger the bar, the smaller the stop with respect to the bar needs to be percentage wise. Like with a 50 range bar, you might only have like a 55 or a 60 tick stop, right? Because the bigger the bar, the more likely the bar is to be the pivot bar. You see how every one of these is a pivot bar? The bigger the bar, the more likely it is to be the pivot bar. Okay. Now, if I show you the aggressive sniper, let's take this one off and we'll just show you the aggressive sniper. The aggressive sniper is not going to be the pivot bar. It's going to be the bar after the pivot bar most of the time. Okay, it's going to be the bar after the pivot bar. It waits until the pivot is complete, and then it gives you another shot at it. All right, that's what the aggressive sniper is about. It waits till the pivot is in place, and then it goes for the next leg, or the next push in that direction. Now, the same kind of stop information is with this. All right, the same kind of information. It shows it all up here. You know, it's up to you how you want to trade it. If you want to use both, if you want to use just one, and the bias on this, you can put the bias on these too. All right, because you might come into a situation like this right here where it's going back and forth like that, and if you throw the bias on there, it probably won't do that. So you got rid of some of that. It actually got rid of a whole bunch of winning trades right there. But this is where it was turning right here. That means the 233 moving average is going through here like this right here. It's going like this. If I put a 233 on there, that's what that means. The 233 simple moving average. If you have the bias on, you're only going to get shorts below the 233 and you're going to get longs above it. So it means that the 233 simple moving average is doing something like this. It's going up here like this and down like that and then up like that. That's what it means. If I just put a 233 on there, I think you'll see that. Okay, and 233 is nothing special. It's just a number. It's a fib number, and it's kind of middle of the road, and it's a simple moving average. Okay, now that's a 9 that you have right there. It's funny how the 9 just about nailed it. But 233, There's a 230. Okay, it was more of a straight line. More of a straight line that was going on, but you see how it basically had the same intersections right there. That's what that means, just so you know. All right. There was a question that I had earlier that I wanted to get into. All right. Well, anyway, I want to show you the range sniper. That's how you put the range sniper on. Now, the range sniper has alerts too. All right. If you go in here to the range sniper and you click alert, it's got, oops, not that. Click on this and you go to alert on that, and you choose range sniper. It's got a bunch of custom alerts in here. All right. It's got alerts to let you know you have one coming up. It's got aggressive alerts. It's got sniper. These are actually going to be on the sniper ones. These are the purple bars, the sniper long and the sniper short. And the next up close or next down close, I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And the aggressive snipes, those are the black ones. Okay. The one that shows the next up or down, that's in here. If you go to style and you hit this, that's going to let you it's going to let you know the next down close. I'm sorry. This isn't with the aggressive. This is for the regular snipe. It's going to let you know that the next down close is likely to be a trade. Next down close, and did I have the bias on here? I did. Let me shut the bias off so you can see it going in the other direction too. Okay. Oops, I still got the wrong drawing object there. Let me hit delete on that last one. But you see, it's going to give you an indication, let you know that the next up close is likely going to be the trigger. And you can set an alert on that too, so you know ahead of time. And this, again, this is on a 50 ES. Now, I don't normally trade on a 50 ES. I normally trade on a 7 ES. But that's the way that I like to trade. You can trade on whatever you want. Matthew, I saw you were in here, and you were talking about trading on the 11 ES, right? The 11 range ES. And this is what that looks like. That looks pretty darn good, I think. If you're just trying to get your goal for the day, there are several times to nail it in there today. But the ES had a lot of volatility today. It was really volatile, and it had a lot of range. Not every day is like today. Okay. All right. I went through all that stuff. Now, I went through how to take the free trial already, right? I did that part. Okay. Wayne, your question. Let me answer your question before I forget. Okay. Your question was, here it is. On Telegram, the signals only come through as longs. That's because I only had longs set up for them. But with futures go long and short, you notice the long telegrams only come in. Okay, that's changed now. With the new stuff that I've got in here, I actually separated them out, long signals and short signals. And so in here, and I added all these other time frames. On the NQ, I kept it to 100 range in here, but when we get into nighttime trading, I'm going to drop that down to probably like a 15 range again. Okay, if you ever see a 5 range in here, anything that's on a 5 range, that's me testing things. Don't really pay attention to anything that's on a 5 range. All right, it usually works out pretty well, but it's 5 range is what the slippage is usually on the NQ at night. So if you see something on a really small time frame like that, it's me testing something at night. I may have left some in here. I probably guess I didn't, but so, and you were talking about Telegram. Now I didn't break the Telegram channels up like this. I did break them up, one stocks and one's futures, but I didn't break them up for longs and shorts, not yet. Okay, it's a lot of work for me to do that, and it was all I could do to get this completed for today. Also, this page is password protected. All right, so anybody that signs up, you get the password for this. I'm going to change the password tonight. For anybody who's in there who has the password right now, I'm going to change the password tonight. And right now, if you want to go see this, if you're not signed up and you want to go look at this page, go to tv_trades.com and trade table, and the password is this. I'll type it in. Okay, it's Q. That is the password. Oops, sorry. That didn't go where I wanted it to go. Hang on, I just deleted everything. Cut, and let's go back in here and look at the questions. Hang on, here we go. Whoops. All right, hopefully I didn't screw everything up. There we go. Okay, the questions are back. Hang on. Submit a question. I don't want to submit a question. I want to paste the password. That's the password. Q15987PP. It's case sensitive. So if you go out to tv-trades.com/trade table, you can look at this, right? And that's the password. And that's going to get changed tonight. So if you're already joined with us, and I know a lot of you guys are, you're going to get an email tonight telling you what the new password is. Okay. And this stuff, well, not just this stuff, but the signals are sent to Telegram channels. There are new private Telegram channels, 2 of them, and I'll get into that in a minute. All right, I want to go back to the charts. So, does anybody have any questions about this before I jump into the next thing? Because the next thing's pretty good. See, these are all the things that are going off right now. This is what's getting put into the page over here, and it's getting put into the Telegram channel right now. All right, so this is the TV Trades timed alert. That means that's a stock, and it's a buy. That's what it means. A stock and a buy. It's a Microsoft TV Trades buy. So right now, that stuff that I told you earlier, when you get these kind of signals at the end of the day, those usually rock by the next morning. If you go look at the log right here, that is this one right here. Okay, so it just gave this indication. Well, it doesn't show it here, but it gave an indication. Well, it's not showing it here because this is the sniper. We've got to put on the TV Trades right here. Oops, this one, this guy. There it is right there. That's what gave you that signal. This was the one it gave earlier today, that one right there, and it's giving this one right now. And usually if you get one of those at the end of the day, if you're buying options, like 1-day options, maybe 2-day options, it depends what they have available, those things usually rock by the next day. Right? If you're buying the underlying security, it's great. You can do that too. What was I thinking? That's good. That's what I want to show you that. We went through the range sniper and some of the alerts for that. We went through the time. Oh, what I didn't get into. The TV Trades range trigger. Now, some of you are in here with me, and you're also in the room in the morning with me. The room in the morning, I let Passport people use this in the room in the morning. But everybody that signs up for TV Trades gets this. So you get this for signing up for TV Trades. You get to use this. This is pretty awesome. You can have all the signals you want, but if you just want to trade, and Sri, are you in here? Let me go look at the people who are in here. Again, let's see if that fella made it. No, he did not. Okay. Well, anyway, if you're in here and you have access to this, if you have a red background and you're coming off a lower swing like that, you can pretty much take the down close. All right, if you have a red background, you're coming off a lower swing, take the down close. Your stop just has to be above the bar that got you into the trade. I have all the arrows and stuff like that are set up to give you trades if you want to. They're all there for you to use. But if you just want to get in and do some quick scalping and you don't want to wait for the arrows to trigger, get in here, and when it's blue, look for it to get oversold, look for it to come out of the oversold. Look for it to get oversold, look for it to come out of the oversold. Look for it to get oversold, look for it to come out of the oversold. All right. If it's red, look for it to get overbought, and look for it to come out of the overbought. It's as simple as that. The TV Trades range trigger is awesome. One of those other things that I created that I just kind of stumbled upon when I'm creating things. That is how you use this. This helps to generate a lot of the trades. And in the morning session, when I'm trading with everybody in the morning session, when I do the spreadsheet and all that stuff that I do in the morning session, the TV Trades is the thing that generates the trade. It's the last thing to trigger the trade in. This morning we were up $522 a contract. Yesterday, $795. That was in the morning sessions. The TV Trades trigger is the last thing that has to happen to trigger a trade. Okay, it's so good that it's completely changed the way that I do stuff in there that I've been doing for 15 years. It's made it so much better. It is worth focusing on. All right. And this is just a simple thing that you can do. You just put it on, you put your TV trades on, you got the right background. You don't have to wait for the signals if you don't want to. You know, Matthew, you watching? And I know your day, like I'm talking to Matthew because I know what his life is like. You know, he's doing this with his work, and his work is like, you know, he works with his hands. So, you know, I picture him getting like 5 minutes to run over and watch the computer and hoping for a trade setup, and then running back to have to go do something else. And, you know, that's, so if the background is the right color, you're coming off a high swing, a higher swing, bam. You know, in the morning session when I do this, we have the ribbon on. Now that is something else that you can look at. I believe, where did I put that in? Did I put it in here? In here. I think it changes to 777. Oh, I don't have that on. I guess I got to turn it on too. There it is. Okay. So if you turn that on, and if you don't even want to look at the snipes that are actually coming, you can shut off the arrows on that, so you're not even seeing that. But you have basically the same ribbon going in there. It's trying to figure out what I'm doing here. It's going around and around. But you have basically the same ribbon, and when the ribbon's spread, look for it to go. But with the blue background, you take pops out of the oversold. With the red background, you take pops out of the overbought. Okay. Simple stuff. Simple stuff. All right. Now, I covered all these things. Now I want to get into the stuff I really want to get to. Wait, I got to answer the questions. I guess the questions are all the same. Let me start with these. Mark, are the times in the tables East Coast time? Let's go to the tables. Okay, let's go here. So last week it looked like this, right? Last week it looked like this, and that was pretty good. That was interesting, and it was good. But it had everything mixed in. It had all of these mixed in, and it had all the NQ trades that were mixed in and everything else. And it was just a whole bunch, and all in one place. And it was all just long trades. It wasn't looking at the short trades or the puts at all. Let me stop for a second. Oh, there's questions. I didn't answer some questions. Hang on. I'm missing some questions. Wayne, yes. On the same way, I'm going back. So TV trades and the trigger. Yeah, use TV trades and the trigger. That is good stuff. Yeah. Do I use TV trades as opposed to the sniper? I use everything, Wayne. But you know, I'm just showing you I'm showing everybody how everything works, so you can see the choices that you have. All right. Now I don't want to really create more choices. I want to make things easier for you with the choices that you have. But I don't want to create more choices because the choices are there and the choices are great. And if you can't make money with this, well, you know, you're doing something wrong. You should actually talk to me and let me see what you're doing, because there's no reason for you to not be making money when you're doing this. I mean, just looking at this, how hard is it? You know, if it's red and it comes out of the overbought, you get short. If it's blue and it comes out of the oversold, you get long. You get an arrow that's going up, you buy. You get an arrow that's going down, you sell. It's, you know, I don't want to simplify it too much, but I did. You don't have to have all these things on it. This was in the range sniper. I had it's the snipe filter. Change that to 777, and that's going to give you this ribbon if you want to use the ribbon in here. Okay. Now, the whole idea behind this was that you don't have to have any indicators on your chart. That was why I did this from the very beginning, so you didn't have to have any indicators. And so it's just like this. You just have arrows telling you when to trade. You have these directions. Then I built the TV trades range trigger, and that's a great thing for you to use. If you want to use an indicator, use that with the background color. Right? But you don't have to have any squiggly lines on the chart or anything like that. The ribbon is a squiggly line. If you want to use the ribbon, you can, but you don't need to. You get the same information from right here. It's just as easy to see. Okay. Yeah, that's why you don't want to have too many choices. I don't want you to think you have to use all of it. You can use just a little bit of it. You can just use this and the TV trades range trigger all by itself. You know, you can use the arrows if you want to use the arrows. But that's how you use the features, the tools that you have. Now, That is if you have a charting platform, and you understand how to put charts on, you understand what the symbols are, you understand how to do all that stuff, how to set up the range bars, how to set up whatever kind of bar you want to set up, and how to set up your DOM, so or your chart, how to trade off your chart, whatever you want to do. Like I have this DOM right here. This is my DT Pro DOM. All right, I'm trading 11 contracts this month. This is my DT Pro DOM. DT Pro is going away next month, forever. So now I use this. This is my Sierra DOM. All right, and I resolved all my issues that I had with Sierra today. I mean, literally, my issues were with the people at Sierra. I resolved those issues today. The Sierra charts and stuff, it's pretty cool. It's just like the DT Pro. It's all one-click stuff, and and you can move things all around. And it's really fast. It does everything you'd want to do. It's the same as this right here. Where you put that on, you just drag it around. You see the stops going up and down with it. It does the same thing as Sierra. So I'm going to have to move to Sierra. After being with that other one for over a decade, I'm going to have to move to Sierra. Ronnie, the issues that I was having with them were me paying professional level fees and stuff like that. That was the issue I was having with them. They really wanted me to pay the professional level, and I was doing my best to not. We came to an agreement. But this is just this stuff, all right? So these are the tools, and if you want to use the tools so you can get in there and take your trades and not rely on some alert telling you when the trade is, you can get in here and just see this. This is so simple. Blue background, you come out of the oversold, you take the trade. And this is on Microsoft, but let's do it on anything. Somebody give me another symbol. QQQ. Now, the question is going to be, what range bar do you use, right? Because the bigger the dollar value, the bigger the range bar should be. But does it matter? Right here, the same range, right? This is a 50 range, so every one of these bars is 50 cents right now with the QQQ. Every one of these bars is 50 cents. So it came out of the oversold in a blue background. You get long right there, 50.89, 589, and ran up to 504. That's $4 on the QQQ. If you had a call option right there, that'd be something. Might be 10%, might be 20%. And that's just a random thing. What's the other one? IWM. That's another one. That one's not very high priced, right? The Russell. So that's $200. You can use the same thing. The same darn thing. Let's go in here. I don't have the shorts on. So if you turn the shorts on, come in here, and the same thing. Well, in here you get the red arrow there, but still, you come out of the overbought with the red background. Bang, 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 bang. Every one of those. How hard is that? It's not that hard, right? So if you're in here and you aren't using this stuff yet, I don't know why. The price is still dirt cheap right now, but I'm doing a lot of things that's, it's going to make it so the prices aren't going to stay this way forever. But let's go into the big changes here. All right. Now this right here is for people who don't want to bother with charts. You don't want to look at these tools. You don't want to be bothered learning how to put this on, that on, and all that stuff that I just covered. This last half an hour that I just covered. That's 45 minutes now that I just covered. This is what this is for. Oops, not that. Where was I? This one right here. That's what this is for. All right, so what I give you here now, I have grand designs with this. I originally had created this thing so that if I could somehow programmatically get the delta in real time and stick it in here and get the nearest out of the money option and stick it in here, then I would be able to calculate the percent gain and the total gain that you should expect if price goes from the entry to the target. All right, that's what I was doing. I actually did all the math for that, but you got to put this stuff in manually, and then it does all that calculation for you. That was my idea when I started doing this. And I found one place where I can get the delta information, but it's not the same delta information that I don't think that calculation is right. And the delta is kind of no, Bobby. No, As long as you stick with it, and the question was, will current subscribers have prices increases as features change? No. If you get started now, you're started now. Just stick with me, because I mean, I'm just, we're a long way from where it was a year ago. It wasn't even here a year ago, but well, a year ago it was just it had those big arrows. Ronnie, a year ago we didn't have the little arrows, we had the big arrows, and they were down here at the bottom of the chart, and we had text labels here on the chart that said what to do. It's come a long way from there. Ronnie, let's just talk about it, okay? Well, you and I can talk offline about it, and you may not even need to introduce me to them. You could just talk to them. But let's go back where I was, the trade table. The whole idea behind this is, one, Wayne, you were talking about the stuff going to Telegram. All right, now I broke it up here going into the trade table. It's actually more complicated than doing it going to Telegram. But with Telegram, let me show you what Telegram looks like for those of you guys who don't have it. Okay. Now, originally, I don't know how to get rid of that. How do I get rid of this? How do I make that go away? That whole section. I guess I just did, didn't I? Oops. I guess I just did. Hang on. Let me see. I'm not real good with Telegram. There you go. Okay. So originally, I have this channel that was open to the public. It is open to the public. This one down here. That's open to the public. And a bunch of you guys were already in there. And, when I first started doing the stuff, I was testing it, sending out the information out here to Telegram, because I wasn't sure how to, how to get it working, and how to, I had to format all this stuff exactly right in the code, and then send it to, I had to write it in the code, and then from the code it goes to one place, then it goes to another place, and it's got to be massaged all the way through, and so it's a real pain in the neck. And so I wanted to test it there first, and then I created this first channel, this one, and this is the one that you were talking about, Wayne, that only had long trades for futures in here, right? Just had long trades for futures in here. And now anybody who is a member, you can get in here, all right? You got an email telling you what it takes to get in here. I sent you a link to get in here. Anybody who is an active member, you can get in here. Anybody who's on the trial, you can get in here. The trades that are coming out in here are the same trades that you're seeing here on the table, all right, except the table breaks them up. This doesn't break them up so much. This one right here, the TV trades, trade signals, these are only equities and ETFs. All right, this one right here is the futures table. All right, for the Telegram channel, I broke it out into futures and non-futures. But this one right here, it has longs and shorts. You see right here is a GC sell, a gold sell right here that came out a little while ago. Now, I don't know what that gold sell looks like. If we go there and look, if we go here and look at the GC, and it's GC1, which is the leading contract of gold, and it's on a 10 range, I believe. I think I stuck it on a 10 range because gold doesn't move around that much. And so to be able to generate some kind of a trade with that, I had to stick it somewhere, and you can see this was it right here. It was that sell right there. Okay, it was right here. GC time frame 10 range, GBT sell, 1509, put current price 2653.6 with a target of 2648. So it hasn't hit the target yet. The target's down here at 2648, but it was a sell right here. And for those of you guys who know, with gold, it's $10 a tick per contract. So it was at 53.6, and so far it's gone down to 50.7 for 24. That's $240 a contract from there to there in the time that alert came out. Okay. Okay. Well, now you understand a little bit more, and I'm going to break it down. Okay. And yeah, I'm still just narrowing it down. The question was, I think I only have one person that I added to this so far in this new channel. Right? I just finished creating that new channel yesterday, so you got to cut me a little slack. The other channel is this one. This is the one that everybody was starting to gain access to. Now, I sent out an invite to everybody who was an active partner and everybody who was on the trial to get into this last week when I created it. Only a few people actually took advantage of that. I don't know if my emails went to spam or whatever, but anybody who is active, send me an email if you want to get into this. I'll send another one out tonight when I change the password. I'll send another one out. But that's what this one. This one is now just equities and ETFs, okay? And it's longs and shorts. I didn't break it out into equity longs and equity shorts yet, and I didn't break it out into futures longs and futures shorts yet. I plan to do that. All right, I plan to have 4 Telegram channels, one for just equity longs, one for equity shorts, equity and ETF longs and equity and ETF shorts, one for futures longs and one for futures shorts. That's what I plan to do, but I didn't have time. I ran out of time. Now, I'm not going to do a meeting next week, guys. I said this at the beginning. I'm not going to do a meeting next Wednesday. I'm going to skip it because it's the day before Thanksgiving, and I'm probably going to have to get on the road and go to Raleigh on Wednesday. So I'm not going to do a meeting on Wednesday, and the next meeting is going to be on the 4th. All right. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions, you can email me. Email support@targetviewtrades.com. Most of you guys have my phone number. You can always text me at my number. But there is a holiday coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up, and from what I gather so far, I'm gonna end up spending it out at the farm. And when I'm out at the farm, they barely have internet. I gotta go like climb a tree to get my phone to work. So I'll be offline for 4 days probably, mostly offline. I don't know. It's always a puzzle. Uh-oh, what happened there? Anyway, yeah, so this Telegram channel, this one is just for equities. All right, it's got longs and shorts, and this one is just got futures. Did I do that backwards? This one has just got equities and ETFs, and this one, I'm sorry, yeah, this one has just got futures. All right, they have this. It says right here, TV trades futures signals, and this one says TV trades trade signals. The next ones will say TV trades futures short signals, and then it'll say TV trades short signals. I don't know how to rename these things, or I'd name it something better. But anyway, I wanted to make sure you guys understood that that's what this is all about. You don't have to have any charts at all. This is going to give you the information. One of the questions, I didn't even get to the questions that were emailed in. I got to some of them. Some of the moves are so small, under $1. Is it worth risking an options contract if the underlying is projected to go up less than $1? Probably not. Keep in mind that whenever these things are being generated, right? Whenever these things are being generated, they're automatically looking at the prior swing high and low, and sometimes that prior swing high, that's where it's determining the targets from. All right. So when you look at this in here, it has a current price and a target. It's looking for the next swing higher, the last swing higher, the last swing low. And sometimes that's going to be really close. Right? Well, these are shorts, but sometimes that's going to be really close. This was only 4 ticks away. I don't know. What is this? This is gold. So this target right here was only 4 ticks away. You're not going to want to risk any money to take something that's just 4 ticks away. So don't take it. There's always going to be another trade. If it doesn't look like it's good for you, then don't take it. I mean, right here, it says right here, consider the target and stop suggested before entering any trade. Ensure that any trade you enter has a better target potential than risk. So your target is always bigger than your risk. I was thinking of putting another column in here. I mean, that's basically the risk-reward column. I was thinking of putting a risk-reward column in there so that you can see that and only take something that's 1 or greater. And that's something that I might do. But that was one of the questions that was with it. I include a stop loss, but the stop is for the underlying security. How does that translate into a stop loss for the option? Okay, that's a fair question. When you're talking about options, and like I have put and call in here. Now that is if you want to trade options. You'd be buying a put or something like that. Let's go to the calls because that's what people are more familiar with. So in here, you have Tesla says to buy the 50 range buy. Current price is 338.42, and the target is only 50 cents away. So you're probably not going to want to buy an option on that, right? You're probably not going to want to do that. If you have something that's a long way away, then you might want to do it. But anyway, if you were to look at it and say, all right, well, you know, it looks like the nearest swing high is right above me. That's where it's getting this information from. But the next swing high is like 5 points away. You know, then that might be the thing that you consider when you're buying the option. The reason I have a stop in here, if you have the stop, if the underlying value goes below the stop, then the option is going to decrease in value pretty quickly. You know, especially the options that I'm thinking about, because they're not going to be necessarily 0 DTE, but they're going to be like 1 DTE or whatever the nearest out of the money option is what I'm thinking usually is going to be the one you're going to be looking at. All right. The one that's usually priced best is the second out of the money, but but the nearest one is what I'm going to be thinking about. Most of the time it's going to be a day or two, sometimes 3 days out. And you know, if you're trading options, you kind of have to understand how options work and how, you know, the theta works from day to day. The value of the option goes down, whatever the value of the theta is, that percent. And you also have to understand the delta. The delta is how much the option is going to go up for every $1 of the underlying value in price. So if, you know, if the delta here were 50 cents, and that means that every time Tesla goes up $1, the option value is going to go up 50 cents. That's what that means. All right. And that delta value changes with volatility and time. That's why it was something. See, that's my little bot. It just triggered a thing right there on the YM. Let me move that off of here so it's not going to trigger down there in front of us all the time. That's what this is all about. If the underlying price drops below the stop while you're in an option, you might want to consider getting out of the option while you still have some value in it. Okay, that is the answer to that question. Do I have a formula for stop loss for the option? Well, that's pretty much it right there, what I just told you. Do I suggest buying OTT or next day or something else? I just answered that one. Do I suggest buying in the money options? Not usually. You can buy in the money options if you want to. You know, they're going to be more expensive. But, yeah, well, they still lose value. You know, you still have the theta value that they're going to lose. All right, so this next one was a guy who's in Germany. The NQ signals can come in at a pretty fast clip. Are we intended to trade them all? No. And how do you sift through them to find the best? Well, they're not going to keep coming in at a fast clip. I said earlier, and I know he's not in this meeting, but I'm just going to answer the question anyway. I said earlier that, you know, if you see something on a really fast time frame, like a 5 range or something like that, that's me testing it. Don't trade those. All right, that's me testing it. You know, it's not always going to be putting it out here into the Telegram channel. But if you do see things start firing off in the Telegram channel in the middle of the night on a 5 range, you know, don't trade those 5 range ones. All right, that's me testing. I'll always test on a 5 range or something like that. All right, because I just want to see it go off. I just want to see that everything is working the way that it's supposed to work. There's so many links that I have to make right to make this all work. So no. Right now I think I have the NQ on, during the day I have the NQ on 100 range. All right, I have the NQ on 100 range bar. I think if we go in here, we'll see the NQ right here, 100 range right here. Okay, and there's probably a couple more of those during the day today. Here's another NQ, 100 range. And, you know, during the day I have it on the 100 range. At night I put it on the 15 range. If I'm paying attention, I'll put it on the 15 range. I actually have a thing, you know, this thing that I created here, this timed alert, it actually has a time that I set in here, but I don't think I created that right, so it's not working exactly right now. I can set it to go off at certain times, but I gotta go back and look at that because I'm pretty sure I messed that up. But at night, if I remember, you know, I'd change it down to like a 15 range, because a 15 range at night for the NQ isn't that bad. Do I have a manual explaining how to best take advantage of the signals? No, I don't. And the other one was a personal request. Okay, so I think I covered all the things that were mailed in. And look, it's 4 o'clock. On the nose. On the nose. Awesome. All right. Questions? Anybody? Again, the Ronnie, if you want to go take a look at this, the password is uppercase Q 15987 lowercase pp. Alright, uppercase Q 15987 lowercase pp. I'm going to change that password tonight at some point, but if you guys want to get in here and take a look at this and see what this is all about, then get in there. You know, you can get in there right now if you want. The Telegram channel, don't jump into that unless you're, well, I mean, you don't have a link to it, so I'm going to give you a link to get in there. But everybody who is an active TV trades person or on the trial is going to get an email telling them what the new password is and what the links are to get into the Telegram channels. Okay, it'll all be in one email, and you're going to get that tonight at some point. All right. And I think that's it, guys. Does anybody have any questions? That was a lot of information. I told you I had a lot to go over today. Thank you, Wayne. I have some, one of our guys, he might be in there. Let me see. Is he in here? He's not. One of the guys sent this the other day. The Telegram trades. Sent that yesterday, actually. Did you see it? I moved it over there really fast. Here. Okay, so the Telegram stuff is helping people, and the whole idea is to make it easier for you guys to get the information. Okay, I mean, I know a lot of you guys have your work, you have your jobs, and you're not next to the computer all the time, and even if you were next to the computer, you probably can't bring up a chart. You might not be able to download and install a charting package, but you can certainly put Telegram on your phone and get the information straight from your phone. You don't have to try to chart on your phone. And so that was the whole idea, is to make everything more easily available to everybody. And these are just, if you wanted to get these on your own, if you like the question that I got early on, is anybody trading the open session with the alerts besides me? I don't know. Okay, we'll see you in the room tomorrow, Gary. I did set you up with NinjaTrader today. Did I tell you that? Yeah, it is worth getting up in the middle of the night, Bobby. I'm up in the middle of the night all the time. Might not have been, no, it was Gary. It was a Gary. It might not have been you, though. Sorry. You're not Ninja. No, it was a different Gary. It was a different Gary H, as a matter of fact. Alright, so what was the question? Trading that, use charts. You will need to help you set it up. Wait, yeah, well, that's fine. I'll help you set it up when you're ready. There's really nothing to it. You really just turn it on, and when you come into the chart, your chart is empty like this, and you just go here and you click TV trades one time, and it does it all for you. That's it. Bing, it's on your chart. Setting up the alerts, that's that's what you're gonna need help with, but I can certainly do that with you. All right. Daryl. Yeah, Daryl, I have. You just got here. You're a little late, Daryl. You're 1 hour and 4 minutes late, and I'm just shutting it down. But yes, and I'll go into that in a lot more detail today. I actually went into it, Daryl. If you look at the YouTube channel today, YouTube at youtube.com/CFRN. Watch the one from today. After 1 o'clock, you'll see me bring up because I was in there this morning. I did a lot of it this morning, but today you'll see me bring up this right here. This is Sierra chart, and I talked a lot about it today. in that YouTube thing that I did. But if you want to see more about that, then check that out, Daryl, okay? Okay, because this meeting is over. You got here an hour late, and I really like to stick to an hour on these. All right. All right, so with that, guys, I'm going to show you one more time. If you haven't taken a trial, go here to tvtrades.com. Click on any of these orange things. They'll bring you down to the bottom. And down at the bottom, just sign up for these things. Right? Any one of these, whichever one of those you want. There's a 3-day trial. $25 a week, $90 a month, or $9.97 a year. Daryl, you really did miss the whole thing, man. But it's going to be recorded and it'll be sent to you in an email. Okay. This is what the TV Trades table looks like. Again, to go there, go to tv-trades.com. I'll type it out and put it in here for you. Okay. Here. This is the link to it. Did that go? No, it didn't go. Crap. Stupid Malwarebytes is in my way. Here it is. Send to all. That's it. And the password, let me type in the password again for you, is Q15987PP. Send to all. That's the password to get into it. All right, it's a password protected page. Write it down right now because I'm actually gonna stop the recording of the meeting right now.